A very good morning to all of you. This is Bharat, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, SNS College of Technology, Coimbatore. Today, we are going to discuss the lecture series video for the subject Measurements and Instrumentation. This subject is usually taken during the second year EEE students during their fourth semester. The first unit of Measurements and Instrumentation subject comprises of the topic Fundamentals of Measurement System. The fundamentals of measurement system consist of all the basic quantities which are used for measurement. The first topic what we are going to see today in today's lecture video is functional elements of a measuring instrument. Come, let's get into the topic. Let's recall the basic concepts, what we understand about the measurement systems. As basically we all know, the basic measurement concepts is classified into two methods. One is called as the method of measurement. Second one is called as the system of standards. The method of measurement is classified into two categories. One is called as direct method. Second is called as the indirect method. The basic measurement concepts is again classified based on the system, what they are used, and the standard for the system like British Imperial System and International Standard. Let's empathize about the introduction. Definition. Measurement is the process of comparing unknown quantity with the known standard. Okay, so what do you mean by this? So we have some unknown quantity. The unknown quantity, we are measuring the unknown quantity from the known quantity. So this is a comparative type of measurement. So we have some known quantities and unknown quantities. We are going to measure both the quantities. What's the importance? We have a good quality control over it. We have a good R&D process, industrial process, everything is involved. So what are the direct type of measurement and indirect type of measurement we have seen. So what are the different types of metric systems that is used for these measurements? They are the length, weight, and capacity. When we use the metric system, we go in for millimeters, centimeters, and kilometers. Weight, similarly, grams, kilograms, and tons, and capacity, milliliters and liters. When we go for US standard system, it comprises of inches, feet, yards, and miles, ounces, pounds, and tons, and fluid ounces. So this is the difference between a metric system and a US standard system. So let's see about the functional blocks which involved during the process of the measuring instrument. So these images show the basic block diagram or the functional elements of a measuring instrument. This involve measured medium, measured quantity. From the measured quantity, it is going to give it to the primary sensing element. So the primary sensing element is similar to like a sensor, which senses what the data has to be measured. From the primary sensed data, it is going to be passed on to a next block, which is called as the variable conversion element. The variable conversion element converts the sensed data into a form which is required for the measurement system. So this variable conversion element, for example, can convert the current signals into analog or digital signals. What is variable manipulation element? So variable manipulation element is the next part of the variable conversion element. This variable manipulation elements converts the variable converted data into the form which is required. For example, if we get an analog data which is of a lower value, this variable manipulation element can improve or amplify the variable conversion output and give it to the next stage of the process. The next stage of the process is the data transmission element. The data transmission element transmits the data from the variable manipulation element to the next stage of data storage or data presentation element. For example, what is the role of a data transmission element? It can be wired transmission, wireless transmission, or any other type of transmission. If we use a radar system to transmit the data between the lower level in the ground to the one where we use it in the underwater or in the rocket space, we have to transmit the data from here to there. There we are using something called as data transmission element. Example, data storage element or playback element. So this element is the one where we measure the data. Those measured data are stored in a place to retrieve it back in the future. Data playback element is also used to get the data back whenever required. All the instrument may or may not have a data storage or playback element. Data presentation element. Data presentation element is the next stage after data transmission and data playback. Data presentation is the one where the user can understand what is the reading of the element. For example, an ammeter, pointer in the ammeter, which shows what is the value of measured, or an LED screen. Observer. Observer is the user who usually uses the data. So these are the various blocks which are involved in during the process of a measuring system, or otherwise it is called as the functional elements of a measuring instrument. It starts from a measured medium, measured quantity, primary sensing element, variable conversion element, variable manipulation element, data transmission element, data storage element, and data presentation element, and finally to an observer. Functional elements. The first element that detects or measured converts the physical quantity to another form. As we already know, the figure represents some sensing element. So mostly the sensors are very much responsible for such type of operation. What are the functions? It physically converts the quantity which is of the form to the form which is required by us. Examples, temperature, thermocouplers, pressure, strain gauge, temperature as thermistors. They are also called as detector or transducer stage. The next element is the one which converts the output of a primary sensing element to a suitable form, which is called as the variable conversion element. The main function of this element is to preserve information content while changing signal type. The example of such elements are ADC, analog to digital converters, bridge circuits like Wheatstone's bridge, signal conditioning elements like amplifiers. They convert the electrical signal's voltage or frequency to the form that is standardly required. The next element is the manipulation element. So the manipulation element modifies the signal while preserving its nature. It conditioning organizes, it boosts the weak signals, it removes the noise, it encodes the signal, it converts the continuous to discrete signals. They are also called as conditioning elements. The physical nature remains unchanged. Next stage is the data transmission and data presentation element. Data transmission element, as we already discussed, transmits the signal between spatially separated elements. It is essential for remote control operations. Data presentation element used in monitoring, control, and analysis. Examples are the analog displays, recorders, digital displays, etc. Let's have a small activity. So case study, a simple case study about this functional elements. It is used in industrial temperature monitoring. We could see an image which is known as the thermocouple temperature measurement. The primary sensing element is thermocouple junction. Variable conversion is A to DC. Variable manipulation is a cold junction compensation. Data transmission is the signal cables and digital displays. So application is the load measurement, force sensing. So primary sensing is used by a strain gauge, done by a strain gauge. Variable conversion is a Wheatstone's bridge. Variable manipulation is amplification or filtering the process. Signal wires are used. Digital pressure gauge or digital displays are used. So let's summarize. There are three different types of measurement techniques. One is direct measurements, then is central, and third one is generalized system elements. These generalized system elements, what we have studied now, are here the primary sensing elements, variable conversion elements, variable manipulation element, and the terminating stage. So